guys, this is Beatrix here for Scenester TV, and I'm joined today by DJ Dijital. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being with us. So, you were recently diagnosed with cancer. You're only 24 years old. How did you deal with this news?
It was a really crazy, surreal experience. You know, it was a big shock, obviously. I dealt with it as best I could. Just be positive, be happy, you know, try to really take a serious situation and be serious about it, but still try to be positive and find not the good in it, but find other things that you can do and involve yourself in that can make things better, if that makes sense.
Your job as a DJ is to bring the life to the party, to be the energy and sort of dictate the energy levels. Yeah. So how did you go about, doing your job after getting such a serious diagnosis? Yeah,
that's tough. You know, even before being diagnosed with cancer, being a DJ, I look at it more than just someone that's up there and playing records. I kind of look at it as a performer, and there's been plenty of times where family issues or ex-girlfriend issues or you have the flu and you got to just put a smile on and get out there, try to get some rest, get up there and do your thing, and you're performing. You got to go up there and have the energy, whether it's 10 people or 20,000 people, or you feel good or you don't feel good. But at the end of the day, it's a performance. And just like, on Broadway, people with colds still have to sing. It's kind of the way I look at it. And that was before the diagnosis, and it was during the diagnosis and after the diagnosis. I was in pain, I had my surgery, but, you got to do what you got to do. And I love DJing and I love performing, and it almost helped me a lot too. It helped me, like when I got on stage, I wasn't thinking about cancer. I wasn't thinking about the pain. I was thinking about playing the music for the crowd and connecting with them the way I like to. And it really kind of helped me, I guess it was almost therapeutic kind of.
Well, you have an amazing attitude, and I admire your positivity and that you were able to use DJing as an outlet for you, as a therapy. And how do you perceive life now after having something like that happen?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I've thought about that question a lot and how it's changed me. I think I've always been very positive. I've always been a very positive person. I've always been about good energy and good people and having fun and everything, and that's always been kind of how I've taken life in general. After being diagnosed with cancer and beating it, and especially beating it as quick as I did, it makes you realize, especially being so young, we think we're invincible. Like, you know that smoking cigarettes is bad for you. You know that it can harm you, but you don't take it into consideration enough to not smoke cigarettes. Drinking's bad for you, but you don't think much of it. And just as that, like, this was a freak situation that there was no reason for me to have the cancer, but, it just happened. And it makes you really, it puts you into the perspective of, like, how fragile life really is. Like, you've heard your grandparents, it sucks, they pass away, but they're old, and old people die. But, like, when you're young and you get diagnosed with a disease, something like that, you really got it. It puts you in a perspective of, like, really living life to the fullest, more than ever, and not just having fun and partying with your friends, but, like, taking advantage of that extra, I love you, Mom, on the phone, or hugging your friend goodbye before they get on a plane or whatever, like a little more than you would probably take it as before. Just taking things, I guess, in a positive way, but more serious. Does that make sense? Like, being more positive about life, but those small things that really matter that you kind of overlook, taking the time to really do it, being a better person, being a nicer person, caring for somebody else, like something small, like that to you might not be a big deal, but just listening to someone that you might not have really given the time of the day to before, those things kind of all put you in a weird perspective, and you really start to think about life and, like, how fragile it really is and how important it is to go out, I guess, being happy.
That's incredible and very inspirational, and that you're able to see life that way now, and yeah. It's sort of a blessing, I think. When you perform, how do you bring it when you perform? Like, what do you do to enhance your performance besides just going up and DJing? Like, what is it that makes you stand out?
It's really just, it's connecting with whatever audience I'm playing to. You know, if you're playing for a specific audience that doesn't want to see you get crazy, you're not going to stand there and take your shirt off and get crazy for, you know, a specific demographic. I think with experience of, you know, how many people you've DJed in front of, you know, certain, it's certain parties or certain groups of people, right? So at the end of the day, the performance for me is catering to who I'm playing for. So if I'm playing for a bunch of college kids that are crazy, like it's going to make me a crazier performance. If I'm playing for a corporate event where it's thousands of guys that, you know, are there to have fun but not necessarily rage like college students, you got to, you know, tone it down a little bit and connect with them on the level that they can be comfortable. You don't want to make your audience uncomfortable. You don't want them to kind of like be unsure about how to party. You want to, as the DJ, you're like the party leader. You're leading the party. You're deciding where it's going to go.
Yeah. You dictate and you feed off of their energy and they feed off of your energy.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's a beautiful little cycle.
It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. And by the way, we're matching.
I know.
We didn't even plan that, but you know. And where can people find the music that you're producing? Where can they follow you? Your Twitter, your website? Give us all the goods.
So my music, soundcloud.com/DJ Digital. My Twitter is twitter.com/thedigital. And digital, by the way, is spelled with a J. My Instagram, I'm really good about posting pictures on there. That's the digital as well, with a J. I have a website. And I'm pretty good about all my social media. Keep people really updated. I'm going to start doing probably either once a month or twice a month this video / podcast where I'm going to record myself in the studio, live mixing, and then just link that to a podcast as well. And also on my SoundCloud, that link will be able to download so you guys can see what I'm doing in the studio, live mixing, and then actually be able to download it and listen to it in the car and whatnot.
That is so awesome. I'm excited to see it, and I'm sure that everyone else is. It was such a pleasure having you. You're such an inspiration, and I'm sure that you've inspired a lot of people out there, including myself. I wish you all the best in your career, happiness, health, and thank you for being with us.